In the Nevada desert, miners entered a bat-filled cave and found skeletons over 7 feet tall, red hair, massive jaws, and a legend the locals had warned about for generations. The site was Lovelock Cave. At first, it was just a guano mine, but what they pulled from the ground wasn't fertilizer. It was a forgotten chapter of history. They found massive bones, skulls far too large, jawbones that could cover a man's face, and hair, red, dry, and still clinging to the mummified skulls. Local museums took possession of some of the remains. The Humboldt Museum, the Nevada State Museum, but most of the bones were quietly locked away. Here's where the mystery deepens. The Paiute people already had a story about this cave, one that sounds like ancient memory, not myth. The Paiute spoke of the Si-Te-Cah, a race of red-haired, cannibalistic giants who once terrorized the land. They say their ancestors fought them in a brutal war. According to legend, the Paiute drove the last of the giants into Lovelock Cave, then sealed the entrance and set it on fire. The giants never came out. To skeptics, this is nothing more than a tall tale. But how do you explain the exact match between legend and what the miners uncovered? Mainstream archaeology insists the bones were simply large Native Americans. They say the red hair was caused by environmental bleaching. But that explanation glosses over the scale, the size of the bones, the consistent red hair, and the fact that many remains quietly disappeared. Witnesses in 1911 described skeletons 8 to 10 feet tall. Some had double rows of teeth, others showed skull shapes not typical to known tribes. If true, that would rewrite everything we know about early American history. It would mean an unknown race lived and died on this continent. So, why the silence? Why would museums lock away bones that could revolutionize anthropology? Some say it's about control of the narrative. If red-haired giants once roamed the land, they don't fit into accepted migration timelines. They don't fit into evolution charts. They raise too many questions. It's not just the Paiutes. Dozens of indigenous tribes across North America have legends of red-haired giants. The stories all sound eerily alike. That kind of consistency is hard to dismiss. Different people, different regions, same myth or the same memory passed down through centuries. Even explorers in the 1800s recorded local legends of giant bones, tall warriors, and sky people with reddish hair and pale skin. Some skulls were on public display in Nevada for years until they quietly vanished. Today, only a few bones remain, often mislabeled or kept in back rooms. The Smithsonian has long been accused of suppressing anomalous discoveries. They deny this, but documents show they've destroyed bones before. In 2014, a lawsuit claimed the Smithsonian discarded over 1,000 giant skeletons in the early 1900s. The case vanished as quickly as it appeared. So we're left with whispers, eyewitness accounts, and bones that vanish when they should be headline news. Some researchers have tried to revisit the site to dig again, but Lovelock Cave is now a protected area. No more excavations, no more questions. Skeptics laugh it off. They say it's just folklore. But folklore doesn't leave behind 10-foot skeletons with red hair and double rows of teeth. Maybe it's easier to bury bones than to explain them. Easier to dismiss a giant than to face what it might mean. Because if the Si-Te-Cah were real, what else have we lost? What else are we not supposed to remember? Who were these beings? Where did they come from? And why does every trace of them lead to a locked cabinet or a redacted file? Even the tools found in Lovelock Cave, woven fabrics, duck decoys, and massive sandals, suggest an advanced people, not brutish cavemen. They didn't just exist, they thrived, they hunted, they fought, and eventually, they were destroyed. Or were they? Some believe a few escaped, fled into the mountains, or went underground, deep into hidden places. The trail ends, but the legend doesn't. Today you can visit Lovelock Cave. You'll find signs about bat guano and archaeology, but not a word about the red-haired giants. History is often written by the victors, but rewritten by those who fear the truth. And the truth? It just might be taller than we imagined. Is Lovelock Cave just a dusty mine? Or is it the burial ground of a secret chapter of human history, one we're not allowed to read? The bones may be hidden, the cave may be silent, but the questions? They're louder than ever. If truth matters more than comfort, keep digging. Share this, question everything. The Lovelock Cave giants were only the beginning.